Thank you very much. And President Miller and the faculty and staff, friends, families, and the students, and especially the graduating class of 2011, I want to offer you my sincere congratulations for your accomplishment. And I'm thrilled to be here today as your commencement speaker. I feel like this is like a big family reunion, and I ended up in the wrong tent somehow. You guys, I didn't get all the inside jokes going on there, but that's okay. It's a great place. It's my first visit to the campus, and I'm really enjoying it. When President Miller asked me to give this commencement address, I asked him what he thought I should talk about. He didn't hesitate. He said, just tell them about yourself. Now, I don't usually like to talk about myself. It's not something I do very often. I'm not very comfortable with it. But in this case, it serves a purpose, and President Miller asked me very nicely. So here it goes. I studied electrical engineering at Cornell. I started 3 companies. 2 have gone public. The 3rd is still in development. I started and ran a nonprofit institute to study brain theory. I'm an author of a book about brains. I'm an inventor on over 60 patents. I designed products including the first successful handheld computers, the first successful smartphones. I have received numerous awards. I've spoken at TED, been profiled in every nearly business publication. I have given invited lectures at dozens of universities. I have also been able to pursue several philanthropic interests, including the support for secularism, equal rights for LGBT citizens, and fighting for the rights of DREAM Act students. I was elected to the National Academy of Engineering in 2002. You might be impressed by that list, but you shouldn't be. I am no different than you, except for one thing. I am older. As a student, I received good but not exceptional grades. I have a bachelor's degree in engineering, not a master's, not a PhD, not an MBA. I'm a pretty good engineer, but not a great one. Everywhere I've worked, I've been partnered with people who are better programmers, better designers, and better managers than I am. Some people I feel I've led an exceptional life, and there's no doubt about it, I've had a positive impact on many people. So I often wonder, how did this happen? I didn't intend my life to turn out this way. Let me talk about what an engineer is. The general public imagines an engineer as someone sitting in a lab, working at night, testing materials, or debugging software, or designing a computer, and I've done those things, and they're useful. But an engineer can be more than that. And engineers are curious. They take things apart, they see how they work, they put them back together to build new and better things. Let me repeat that. Engineers are curious, they take things apart, they see how they work, they put them back together to create new and better things. That is the engineering process. We can use this process to build products such as medical devices, computer programs, and cars. But the process of engineering can be applied more broadly. It can be applied to changing how people think about energy conservation. It can be applied to discovering new business models and enacting laws for better education or for reducing prejudice. The list goes on. The engineering process is the best one for many of the most difficult challenges we face as humans. Exceptional engineers use the engineering process on broad challenges, not just those we traditionally think of engineering problems. Here's an example. For over 30 years, I have been working to understand how the brain works and how it functions. I've worked with and employed many people in this endeavor. What kind of people do you think are best at this, at understanding how the brain works? You might think neurobiologists, good choice. Mathematicians, linguists, psychologists, psychiatrists, physicists. No, by far the best people are engineers. The brain is a complex and messy system. If you approach the problem with preconceived notions of how it works, you will not succeed. I found engineers best because they are curious, they're willing to pursue it, reverse engineer it to figure out how it works, and they're willing to bring any kind of tools they can think of to the problem. They're not ashamed about trying new things. Every engineer has the potential to solve big problems that we humans face, but most engineers do not rise to that potential. Tackling big problems is hard. You have to talk to people in fields outside of your own, which is awkward and uncomfortable. You have to aim so high that others will mock you, and secretly, and sometimes not so secretly, hope you will fail. You must be effective at communicating, and you have to be good at motivating your peers while simultaneously being polite to your critics. It is hard. That brings us to you, the students of Olin College. You are lucky. You live in the United States with its enviable freedoms. You have unlimited access to good food, clean water, clean air, good health care, and public education. 2/3 of the world's population would switch positions with you in a heartbeat if they could. But you're lucky in one more special way that is extremely rare. You went to Olin College, and that's pretty rare. What makes Olin unique is its focus on the very skills you need to be an amazing engineer, not an average one. From the moment you stepped onto this campus, you've learned how to present to others, how to carry yourself with determination, how to persuade others. You have been exposed to big problems and encouraged to think big. And you work on problems collaboratively. It is these skills that you need to be an exceptional engineer, and it is the application of these skills that leads to an exceptional life. 2 years ago, I spoke at a conference in Durham, North Carolina. The conference was about the 14 grand challenges laid out by the National Academy of Engineering. My talk was on reverse engineering the brain. At that conference, I sat at a table, by chance, which was occupied by Olin students. I was impressed with them, with their curiosity, their professionalism, and outgoing nature. It was there that I realized that Olin students and Olin education were exceptional. That is why I agreed to fly across the country to talk to you for 10 minutes. All engineers, indeed all humans, have the opportunity to live an exceptional life. I can't speak about you individually, but as a whole, the students of Olin College and the graduating class of 2011 are as well prepared as anyone on this planet, to lead an exceptional life in the 21st century. I encourage you to do so. Leading an exceptional life should not be a burden. I was 30 years old before I realized that maybe, just maybe, I was capable of doing something interesting. You have plenty of time to figure it out, what you want to do when you grow up, whatever, but don't sweat it. Plus, an exceptional life it can be a normal one. When my kids were at home, I had a rule to eat breakfast and dinner with them every day, and I did. And I never went to the office on the weekend. Commitment, integrity, and a driving curiosity are far more important than working long hours. Now, it is well known that almost no one remembers who their graduation speaker is or what they talked about. I'm okay with that. Really, it's fine. And even though you will not remember the speech, I'm going to try a trick to plant a meme in your brain. There are many times in your life when you will be asked to state what you do for a living. My favorite is the immigration form you fill out when you're traveling in and out of a country. You're sitting on a plane, the stewardess comes down, they give you this little form, and at the bottom of this form is a field labeled occupation. That question used to puzzle me. What should I write? It is unlikely that anyone cares what you put in this field, and it's unlikely anyone will ever even read it. So it is more of a personal question. How do I view myself? What do I think I am? First I put student, then engineer, but later I had choices. Maybe I should put entrepreneur. That sounds cooler than engineer. How about serial entrepreneur? That's cooler still, but it sounds a little bit like a criminal. Later still, I could write brain scientist, or author, or business executive. I could write all of them. Which one sounds the best? Which one is the most impressive? I finally settled the matter. I always write engineer. I write engineer with a capital E. Being an engineer, you can actually do anything. You can do it's the most versatile profession. So from now on, whenever you have to write your occupation on a form, I want you to get this image in your mind now. No matter what you are actually currently doing or what your business card says, I want you to write engineer, engineer with a capital E. When you see that field labeled occupation, I want you to think back on your education at Olin and ask if you have taken advantage of the opportunity you have been given to lead an exceptional life. I want to congratulate everyone here, the parents and relatives, the students, the faculty, especially the graduating class of 2011, for choosing to be an engineer and choosing for Olin College as your alma mater. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing your accomplishment with me.